Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. I'm Lisa with Down to Earth Gardening and Design, and today we are doing some container gardening. This will be a planting aloe tutorial. So in this video, I'm going to talk about aloe and its needs and where I'm going to put my nice container. And then I'm going to walk you through planting in a container and tell you about what kinds of soil you will need and how to select a container for it. And last but not least, I'm going to go over aftercare, and that's going to be pretty quick because they are a really easy plant. So I'll probably just go over a couple of don'ts or mistakes that people make with their aloe. So aloe is known for its leaves, and they're gel filled. So it does have medicinal properties, but it is also a succulent, so super easy plant. Loves full sun, loves dry conditions, which means that you can be neglectful with your watering. You can have this as an indoor house plant, and it's beautiful as an indoor plant. But if you live in zones 10 or higher, it can be outdoors in a container year-round. Now, it can also be in the ground, but today we are doing a container planting, and it is really great for this terracotta planter, and in a little bit I'm going to tell you exactly why. So I have this bright sun location in a dry corner. I'm here in Florida, so I'm going to be using this as a year-round outdoor container. But I inherited this little corner, and it currently has a crown of thorns, established container plant, which is really beautiful, and it loves the full sun there. I do zero to it, and it's looking pretty great. So I'm going to throw up a little video clip of that. But I want to make that corner my own, so I want to add another container to that corner, and I'll probably switch out the mulch because I am not a red mulch fan. I like things to look a little more natural. But I'm just going to spruce up the corner by adding another container and the aloe plant. So I did mention that it has medicinal properties. It is toxic if it is ingested, so it is only for topical use. And what you do is you break off the leaves, and you can use it for sunburns, burns, or minor cuts and abrasions. So the other reason why I'm excited to have this plant around is because we love to go to the beach a lot, and although we try to wear a lot of sunscreen, sometimes we forget to reapply. And also the grandkids are here a lot. I love to have them here, and so I thought it would be a really useful plant to have here at the Florida house. So I found this little aloe vera plant, but I do want to say that there are over 500 species of aloe. So they come in different shapes and sizes, and they will throw out a really pretty flower in salmon, red, yellow, pink, orange. But the trick to having them flower is that they have to be a little more mature, so around 4 years old, and they also will be more likely to produce a flower if they are grown outside. So I've also seen, and I'm going to throw up some pictures of some different aloe, some variegated aloe that's gorgeous. But I found this 6-inch aloe vera plant pretty reasonably at the hardware store, $8.99. You can't beat that. And I'm going to be putting it into this clay pot. So I want to talk about the container a little bit more because I do a lot of bike riding around here, and I rode by this aloe plant that was pretty mature and was definitely outgrowing its pot. So I'm going to show you that. So in order to not have to pot it up pretty quick because they're fast growers, I'm going to use a container that's a little bit larger than what I probably need. Now, they do like snug spaces. They really don't mind being in a smaller pot, but if you do see that the leaves are wilting or it's just not doing well, and sometimes the leaves will get mushy too, and that's a sure sign, then you do want to repot your aloe. But I'm trying to avoid that, but I'm also trying to be in keeping with the proportion that I already have in that corner, because the other plant, you may have noticed, is quite large. So I don't want a little tiny pot next to a large pot. So I want them to look like they belong together. So a clay pot is ideal because it is porous, and so because the aloe is a succulent, it does not want to be sitting in water. So the clay is a perfect candidate, terracotta, because it will wick away any excess moisture. So with that said, I also want to talk quickly about the soil. So you want to use the cactus soil or potting mix, because it is fast draining. So it will have a different consistency, and this is what the aloe does prefer. So I'm going to be using that. And then for my other materials, I just have my gloves here. I have some snips on hand, my potting mat to help contain my mess. And again, I will put up some links for you in the description in case you're interested in any of these materials. So let's get started with the tutorial. And let's get our hands dirty. So first and foremost, I want to show you that this container does have a drainage hole. That is super important to ensuring that it's not going to be sitting in water. But I want to cover the hole with something just so the precious soil doesn't sift through, but yet we still want the water to be able to drain out. Now you can go ahead and put a layer of rocks in the bottom, and that will also help if you find that your container is a little lighter because you don't want it to be tippy. So also an advantage of using this larger clay pot is it's pretty heavy here. But I recycled an old screen, and I've just been cutting it up and placing little patches of it in the bottom of my containers. So just doing a little recycling there. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill my container with some of the succulent mix. Okay, so we're going to put a good amount of the succulent mix in the pot. Now you don't want to tamp it down or pack it down, because the roots like to have some breathing room. All right, let's test it. We're going to need a little bit more. Just want to test what I have here. Okay, something like that. I'm going to open my second bag here. Okay. Now, to make this process a little bit easier, I like to moisten the plant about a day in advance. So I did give it some water yesterday. It's pretty dry here, but that will help with the plant just not falling apart. So it'll keep it intact a little bit better. So then we're just going to try to gently remove it from its container. You can see that it's a little bit wet here, so it won't be needing water for a while. And then I'm just going to loosen it up a little bit and make a mess, which I'm really good at. And then I'm just going to nestle it in here. Okay, so that's that. Now I do also want to mention that the best times to repot this is really in the spring, because it's putting on active growth. I've just purchased this. That's another great time to repot something. you know, bring it home, give it some fresh soil and give it a new pot, because who knows how long it's been in the pot. And it also gives you a chance to see what kind of shape the roots are in. So I'm pretty happy with the health of this plant. But the other times that you would repot it is, like I said, probably every 3 or 4 years. If it's getting really overcrowded, or you notice something's going on with it and it's just not doing as great as it should be. So now I'm just going to fill around the edges with the soil. And that's it. So if it was really dry, I would give it a little bit of water at this point, but because it was pretty moist still from me watering it yesterday, I'm just going to leave it alone. But I do want to talk about aftercare, a couple of don'ts. But one thing I'm noticing looking at it is this leaf here is just about broken off, so I thought it would be a fun opportunity to show you how to harvest some aloe and what it looks like when you harvest it. So you're just going to take one of your leaves, and if we were that doesn't look very good. One of your leaves. So you just want to harvest it by clipping off a little piece, and you can see the gel on the inside, and that's what you're using for topical use. So let me get a glove off here and I can show you. And there's the gel. So remember, topical use only. That's it. So that's just a little bit on harvesting, but for care, it doesn't mind a lot of watering neglect. In fact, that's how it's going to thrive. So my biggest don't is don't overwater it. So wait until it's completely dry and then give it a little bit of water. And for me, I'm just going to let Mother Nature do her thing and let the rain water this aloe, and if I notice that we are having a dry spell, then I'm probably going to check it. Number 2 is don't put it in the shade. So aloe is a succulent and it loves full sun. It doesn't mind hot, dry conditions. So that's it for our aloe planting tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this video. I love doing these videos for you, and if you like this one, please go ahead and tap like, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do, because we have so many more gardening videos coming your way.